Hello and welcome to Mo Yoga. I'm Megan and this is your 30-minute detox practice. So this is going to be a little bit more of a workout. We're going to be doing a lot of twisting poses to kind of wring out anything that might be stagnant in our bodies. We're going to be sweating out toxins. So I invite you to grab a mat, grab your block, and let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome to our detox practice. We're going to come to a comfortable seat on our mats. I am sitting up on a block. You can use a blanket or a rolled up beach towel, or you don't have to sit up on anything at all. But that helps kind of with your alignment of your spine by raising your hips off the ground a little bit. So coming into a comfortable seat, I'm sitting cross-legged, but if you prefer to kind of sit up on your shins with your heels tucked up under your bottom, that's fine too, whatever is most comfortable for you. So we're going to take a moment here to really just settle in to where we're at. If you're like me, you've got a lot of thoughts going on in your head. We've got distractions. I've got people walking by, so you might hear some background noise. Any of that that's going on in your life, just acknowledge it, let it be, and let it go. So as we go through this detox practice, it is going to be very physically detoxing. We are doing a lot of twisting motions and working in different planes. But it could be a little bit more metaphorical than that as well. Maybe you want to set an intention to use this time and this practice to let go of things that just aren't serving you anymore. Letting go of racing thoughts, of anxiety, of anything you might be experiencing that's uncomfortable for you. Acknowledging it and letting it go. So here we go. Sorry, there's a lot of mats in this part here. Okay, so we'll close our eyes. Notice where we're at. Feel your roots on your block or the mat beneath you. Pull your shoulders down and back. Notice your breath. Breathing deeply where you are. Setting your intention for your practice. And on an inhale, we'll bring our arms up overhead. Clasp our fingers together and flip our palms up to the sky. Pulling our shoulder blades down and back, feeling a stretch in the front side of our bodies. And we'll bring our hands to the back of our necks here, with them still clasped. And on an inhale, we'll pull our elbows back, opening through our heart center, lifting our gaze to the sky, feeling that opening through your chest. Exhale, let our elbows drop, belly button pulls to your spine, making a C shape with your back. Inhale, we open it up. Exhale, everything drops. One more time, inhale, everything open. Exhale, everything drops. We'll come back to neutral, arms up overhead. On the exhale, we twist to the left. Right hand comes to the knee. Left fingertips graze the ground behind you. Gaze coming over your left shoulder. Inhale, sitting just a bit taller. Exhale, twisting a little deeper. Really gentle twist here, waking up our bodies, getting some mobility back in our spines. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, gentle twist to the right. Inhaling, sitting slightly taller. Exhale, twisting just a little bit deeper. Shoulders pull down away from your ears. Everything comes back to center. Inhale, arms up overhead. We'll cactus our arms here one time, opening through that heart center, feeling your shoulder blades stitch down our backs. And we'll come down to our mats. I'm going to move my block out of the way here. And I'll come into a neutral tabletop. So in tabletop, my wrists are directly below my shoulders. My knees are directly below my hips. Neck is long. Gaze is just at the top of my mat here. We're not looking up at the sky or tucking in, looking at our toes at all. Just a nice neutral long neck. Shoulders roll away from our ears. Pelvis is slightly tucked. A nice long spine. And from here, rather than taking just a straight cat-cow in this plane here, we're going to be really moving our body in lots of directions today. So as your belly drops, I want you to think about drawing a big circle with your belly button, kind of making rounds with your rib cage, if you will. And your neck kind of just follows however is natural. Really waking up our hips, waking up our spine, drawing big circles with our belly buttons. One more in this direction before we switch directions. Allowing freedom of movement in our hips and our shoulders. One more in this direction and we'll come back to neutral. There's an ant on my mat. Okay. And from here, your right hand lifts, left heel lifts, straight line of energy from your fingertips to your heel, which is pressing away from you, reaching forward with your fingertips. Spine is neutral, hips are level. On the exhale, knee and elbow touch. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more lengthen. Hand and knee come back to the mat. And we'll repeat that on the other side. So left hand raises, right heel presses back behind us. We're active through the supporting shoulder. So we're pressing through our shoulder here. We're really lifted. Energy out our fingertips, out our heel, making ourselves long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Knee to elbow. Lengthen one more time before everything comes down to the mat. We tuck our toes and press it back to our first downward dog of the day. So pressing our chest toward our knees with the intention of energy through our heels, but our heels may not necessarily drop to the ground, and that's fine. Shoulders are down and back, pressing our chest to our knees. We allow our left knee, left shoulder to drop, looking over to the right side. Getting just a slight twist here, pressing your right hip up to the sky. Breathing deeply. Right knee, right shoulder drops, looking over to the left. Giving a stretch. The back side of that left leg. A little bit of a twist. Left hip is lifting to the sky. And we release. Slowly, we'll take our time to walk to the top of our mats here for a forward fold. Taking a moment maybe to clasp your elbows. Maybe swaying side to side, letting the top of your head get nice and heavy toward the earth. Left fingertips are going to reach towards the ground. Right fingertips reach the sky as your left knee bends. We open to the right side for a twisted forward fold. And if you're like me and you have trouble keeping your shoulders away from your ears, you're chronically tight here in your shoulders, maybe you take your fingertips and bind them behind your back to pull that shoulder down and away. We unravel. Right knee bends, left fingertips raised to the sky. Maybe you stay here, maybe you take a bind. Awesome, we'll unwind. From here, knees bend, hips sink, arms come up overhead, chair pose. And if you have a block available, this would be a great time to utilize the block by putting it in between your knees. Kind of gives you a little bit of support here and keeps your knees and your hips in alignment as we sink deeper and also as we twist. So I have my block between my knees. I'm squeezing that block. Arms are strong up overhead. Shoulders are pulled down away from my ears. Pelvis is slightly tucked. Your tailbone is slightly tucked here. We're deep in this chair pose. Deep breath here. Bring our hands into prayer. And our elbow is going to hook over our right knee, opening for a twist to the right side with the intention of getting your fingers, your thumbs in line with your sternum. Gazing up at the sky, breathing deeply. See if you can drop your hips 1 inch lower before we unravel. Take it back to this chair, building a little heat here, and we twist to the left. Breathing deeply, thumb in line with your sternum, dropping your hips just an inch. Feeling that burn, that strength in your legs. We unravel. One more beat here before we come to stand. Awesome. I'm going to remove my block. Arms come up overhead and come to center, prayer hands. Catch your breath before we take your right foot and step it back for a crescent lunge. So in crescent lunge, your front knee is directly over your front ankle. Your back heel is lifted off the ground with the intention of straightening that back leg. Hips are square to the front of your mat. Shoulders are directly over your hips. Shoulders are down and back. We bring our arms up overhead. Oh, there's an ant. Breathing deeply, we sink into this front knee, feeling the stretch in your right hip flexor. On an inhale, everything rises. Exhale, we open to the right. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we open to the left. Inhale, we rise. This time, I'm going to grab my block, and on the exhale, your right hand comes down to the earth or your block next to your left foot, and we open to the left for a revolved crescent lunge. Again, if you find yourself chronically tight in your shoulders, maybe you take a bind behind your back to pull that shoulder down and away, keeping everything nice and open. One more breath here. Try to sink just an inch deeper into that front knee. Press a little bit stronger through your back heel before we unwind. Come back to our crescent lunge, and we step it forward. Awesome. So we'll step that left foot back, crescent lunge, knee directly above our ankle, strong through that back leg, Strong through that back heel. Hips are square to the front. Arms come up overhead. Breathing deeply. We inhale, lift. Exhale, open to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hand comes to the block or your mat. Open to the right for a revolved crescent lunge. Keeping your hand straight in line with your supporting hand or taking a bind behind your back. Sinking 1 inch deeper in that front knee. Pushing a little stronger through your back heel. Really opening your heart to the sky. Inhale, back to center. One more breath. Step it forward for Tadasana. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a moment here, maybe bending deeply in one knee and then the other. Arms come up overhead one more time. And from here, we're going to step almost off our mats. Actually, I'm off my mat here. A little bit off your mat, taking a really wide stance. And we'll drop into goddess pose. I'm actually going to face you guys so you can see what I'm doing. We'll take a wide stance here, maybe 2.5 feet or so. Not our fingers, our toes are pointing to the front corners of your mat. And tracking over our toes, our knees bend deeply for goddess. Arms come up overhead. We cactus our arms, pull our shoulders down and back. Breathing deeply, maybe pulsing here. We'll bring our hands to our knees, let our right shoulder drop. Looking over our left shoulder, taking a twist here. Pressing our hands into our knees, opening those knees just a little wider. And we drop into our left shoulder. Awesome. We'll come back to center before we come back to standing with our feet a little wider than hip distance. And our hips drop to the earth for Tadasana. Malasana. So our hips drop to the earth, our heels stay on the ground, pressing our elbows into our knees here. Before we come all the way to the ground. And I'm going to turn back this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've got my block here and I'm going to come up on my shins with the tops of my feet on the mat. And this block is going to go kind of in between my ankles here. And we're going to take a camel variation. And what we'll do is we'll center ourselves here, pull our shoulders down and back. There's a lot of gnats, I'm sorry. Your right hand comes to the block behind you. Left arm comes up and overhead. We open, pressing our hips away from the block. On the exhale, we bring our hands down to the earth, taking up lots of space, drawing a circle around to the other side. Left hand comes to the block. Right hand up to the sky, opening our chest here, pressing our hips away from us. Come to draw that big circle, take up lots of space. Right hand comes behind. And you can do this without a block. but a lot of people are not as open or flexible in their backs and hips as that. So whatever feels good for you. Taking a few of these in your own time. So this will be my last one. Before I come back to center, I'll just remove this block. Take my knees as wide as the mat and press it back for child's pose. Allowing my forehead to kiss the earth. Walking my fingertips just an inch away from my body. Really active through my hands. Countering that camel pose we just did. Awesome, and when you're ready, we'll come onto our backs here. Both knees hug into our chest. Just for a moment, maybe rocking side to side, massaging your back. This is a nice view. Okay. Right knee stays tucked in. I'm sorry. We're going to take our hands, lace them behind our heads. Right knee stays tucked in, extending your left foot just a couple inches off the ground. Elbow to knee. Exhale, we alternate. Exhale, we alternate. Taking a few bicycle crunches here on your own time. Keeping your core nice and tight. Low back flat to the earth. Maybe one more on each side. You did it. Knees hug into our chest. Rock a little side to side. We'll straighten our left leg all the way to the ground this time. Our right knee falls across our body to the left. Gaze comes over your right shoulder for a spinal twist. One more breath here. Core engages. Everything comes back to center. You switch knees. Right foot comes all the way to the ground. Left knee comes across our body. Gaze is over the left shoulder. Breathing deeply. Both shoulders are staying firmly planted on the ground. One more breath here before we, an ant, come back to center. Hug our knees into our chest and find ourselves in our final resting pose, Savasana. So if you have any lower back pain or issues, I suggest keeping your knees bent and letting them support each other. Or if you don't have any problems in your low back, you can straighten your legs out all the way, pulling your shoulders away from your ears before you allow yourself to fully relax into your mat. Feeling completely supported. Allowing any tension you may be feeling between your eyebrows to release. Allowing the muscles in your jaw to unclench. Any tightness or heaviness you may feel in your shoulders, let it go. Any tightness you might feel in your heart space releases. Knots in your stomach relax. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, we inhale fully, providing our muscles, our bodies with fresh oxygen. Exhaling fully, letting go of anything no longer serving you. Inhaling gratitude. Exhaling kindness. Inhaling joy. Exhaling compassion. Taking one more full round of breath before we bring some awareness back to our bodies. Breathing fully all the way to our fingertips. Exhaling completely all the way to your toes. Before we roll onto our sides, taking a moment of gratitude for ourselves and our bodies. Taking this time on our mats for some self-care. Coming back to your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. We'll press up to a comfortable seat, keeping a soft gaze or eyes closed. Palms of your hands open to the sky. Feeling yourself supported by the earth beneath you. May you always stay rooted, supported in your values. May your heart always be open to all the positivity that the earth has to offer. And may your crown always be lifted to the heavens. Namaste.